He was called delusional long before he was called anything else. Not by strangers online, by people close enough to know his real name. The first time he said it out loud, "I'm going to change my life with my work," his friend laughed like he'd told a joke. His mother didn't laugh. She did something worse. She sighed. The kind of sigh that means, "I love you, but I don't believe you." And maybe that's why he kept going. Because delusion is easy to carry when you're alone. It's when people you love look at you like a child that it gets heavy. At night, the city outside his window looked expensive. Bright signs, glass towers, cars that cost more than his yearly salary. Inside his room, it was quiet. One desk, one chair. A cheap fan that rattled like it was also tired of trying. He worked anyway. Not because it was romantic, because he couldn't breathe when he didn't. Some people drink. Some people disappear. He opened his laptop and built his way out. Every night he wrote, edited, deleted, and tried again. He kept a small notebook beside him with one sentence on the first page. "It's only delusional until reality catches up." He wrote it after a brutal day at work, when he stared into a bathroom mirror and realized something. He wasn't afraid of failing. He was afraid of living the same year forever. He started posting his work online. At first, there was nothing. Not few views. Nothing. The platform didn't hate him. It didn't love him. It didn't even notice him. His first video got 12 views. 6 were him checking if it uploaded correctly. His second video got 9 views. His third got 4. He stared at the numbers like they were a verdict. Then he did something that surprised even him. He made another one. Not because he believed it would work, because he promised himself he'd become the kind of man who doesn't stop. Months passed. The nights blurred together like rain on a window. His friends went out on weekends. He stayed in. Not because he was disciplined, because he was desperate. He watched other creators blow up overnight and tried not to hate them. He tried to learn. He studied titles, thumbnails, hooks, pacing. He learned where attention drops, where emotions spike, and where people leave. He trimmed his work like a sculptor trimming stone, not to make it smaller, to make it sharper. Then he'd post again, and again, and again. Still, nothing. A handful of views, a few polite likes, no real comments, no momentum. And one night, after posting his newest work, he closed the laptop and sat in the dark. No music, no phone, just the soft hum of the fan and the sound of his own breathing. He looked at the notebook on his desk. It's only delusional until reality catches up. He felt something crack in him. Not loud, quiet. The kind of crack that doesn't shatter you. It makes you realize you've been carrying hope with both hands for too long. He whispered to himself, maybe reality isn't catching up. And then his mind did the thing it always did when he was weakest. It played the voices. You're wasting your life. You're chasing fantasies. You're not built for this. You're not special. He didn't cry. He just sat there. And for the first time, he wondered if the people who gave up were just exhausted. Not weak. Exhausted. The next morning, he went to work like nothing happened. He smiled when people spoke to him. He nodded at jokes. He answered emails. But inside, he felt hollow, like he'd spent all his energy building a door and realized there might not be anything on the other side. He checked his phone again, expecting nothing. Same views, same silence. Then, something new. A comment. It was on one of his YouTube shorts. Just 2 words. True, thankfully. He stared at it longer than he should have, not because it was big, but because it was real. Somewhere out there, a stranger heard him. And for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel invisible. Something about it didn't feel like a compliment. It felt like a hand reaching through the screen. He read it again, and instead of trying to sound clever, he typed the only honest thing he could say. I'm glad it reached you. Then he just sat there, phone in his palm, lunch going cold, because a strange truth was settling in. He wasn't chasing views. He was chasing a moment. A moment where one tired person somewhere in the world felt a little less alone. And that hit him differently, because this wasn't a trend he copied. This was something he'd been carrying since he was a child, quietly, faithfully. When he was younger, he didn't collect toys the way other kids did. He collected stories. He read anything he could find, old books, borrowed books, random pages that smelled like dust and time. And he loved moral stories the most. Not because they were perfect, but because they made the world feel understandable. Stories had always done something simple for him. They made pain mean something. So when life got heavy, his instinct wasn't to run. His instinct was to create. To turn the weight into words. To turn the silence into something someone else could hold. That day he went back to work, but the comment stayed in his chest like a small ember. Not loud, not dramatic, just warm. And later that night, when the city outside his window looked expensive again, glass towers, fast cars, bright signs, he sat at the same desk, in the same quiet room, and he remembered a quote from one of the books that raised him. The person who loves to walk will reach further than the person who races. He didn't remember the exact page. He didn't remember the author. But he remembered what it did to him. Because suddenly it explained everything. He had been racing the outcome, racing the numbers, racing the proof. And it was killing the joy. So he made a decision, quiet but final. He would stop making videos to benefit himself. He would start making videos to reach someone. Not 1 million people, not an audience, just someone. Someone in a dark room, someone on a lunch break, someone pretending they're fine, someone who needed the message more than they needed the algorithm. He told himself, even if this never blows up, I'm going to make good work anyway. Because he realized something he hadn't admitted before. He actually loved this. He loved creating stories. He loved shaping meaning. He loved the calm focus of building something from nothing. He wasn't successful yet, not in the way the world measures it, but he was building something real. In real life, he was building his future step by step. And inside his passion, he was building a body of work, day by day, like laying bricks in the dark. And maybe that's what growth really looks like. Not fireworks, but repetition. So he opened his notebook again. That line was still there, waiting like it always had. It's only delusional until reality catches up. He smiled, small, almost tired, because people could call him delusional. They could laugh, they could sigh, they could look at him like a child. But he understood the rule now. Reality doesn't respond to belief. Reality responds to what you do every day. So he wrote beneath it, "I will walk." And then he worked. Not harder, not louder, better. He didn't try to impress people who were never listening. He tried to speak to the ones who were. He made his videos like letters to strangers, like moral stories with modern clothes, like a light left on in a hallway. And he kept going, even without applause, because his new goal was simple. Make something that helps. Make something that lasts. And if you're listening to this now, maybe you've been called delusional too. Maybe you've been told you're dreaming too big, trying too hard, wasting your time. But I want you to remember this. It's only delusional until reality catches up. So don't race. Walk. One step, one day. One small piece of work that proves you showed up again. Because if you keep walking long enough, one day you'll look back and realize reality wasn't ignoring you. It was just catching up, quietly, the whole time. He leaned in, hit record, and spoke softly into the night. Hey, if you're still trying, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Don't give up.